Good day, everyone. So, we are the Group 2 reporters and we will discuss the conjunctions. So, what is conjunction? A conjunction is a word that connects sentence, clauses, phrases, or word, and sometimes paragraphs. So, in simple words, conjunctions function as connectors of two sentences and clauses. Connect a clause to another clause. So, that's all for conjunction. So, we have here a coordination. Coordination is the process of combining ideas. Two constituents of the same type can be put together to produce another larger constituent of the same type. Traditional grammar call this process as compounding. So, coordination means a word that joins two elements. And we have here an examples of coordinating conjunction. So, wala ko di siya na dala sa slides, but take note. There are 7 coordinating conjunction. You can be remembered using the acronym fanboys. So, F stands for A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. So take note of that word. So those I've mentioned are examples of coordinating conjunctions, but the next reporter will discuss or will explain it further, their definitions and uses. Also, coordinating conjunction, so they can join two verbs, two nouns, two adjectives, two phrases, or two independent clause. So let's proceed to examples of simple coordination. So we have here a compound sentence, compound subject, compound verb, and compound object. So, compound sentence joins two or more sentences that have related ideas of equal importance. The two sentences go together. So, we have here the boys sang and the girls danced last night. So, ang gin-change ko ang colors sang duwa ka sentence. The first sentence is the boys sang and then conjunction and the second sentence is the girls danced. Next, compound subject is a subject with two or more simple subjects. So we have here the teacher and her students. The first subject is the teacher, then conjunction and the second subject is her student. So, change ko ang color para ma-identify nyo. Then, compound verb, a verb that consists of multiple words combined together. The children play and eat during recess. So we have here two action words. Play, conjunction and the second is eat. Next, compound object. We boiled corn and cassava. So compound objects, two objects joined together and it can be either or direct or indirect objects. So we have here a corn, conjunction and the second is cassava. So, gin-highlight ko para easy nyo or gin-change ko ang color para easy nyo ma-identify kung diin ang duwa ka compound sentence, compound subject, compound verb, and compound object. So, these examples are considered as a simple coordination. So, easy talang siya ma-identify kay ang gingamit lang nga conjunction is only and lang good. So, let's proceed to other ways of coordinating idea. So, the first one is ellipsis. Omission or elision of the first verb, phrase, and the second, and adding the word to or either for uninverted forms, and so or neither for inverted forms. So, when we say omission or omission, someone or something that has been left out or excluded. So, balik ta sa na-state de. Omission or omission of the first verb phrase and the second. Meaning, ang pag-eliminate or ang pag-exclude sang verb phrase sa second nga clause or sa sentence. And for uninverted, we will use to or either. And for inverted, we will use so or neither. So we have here an examples. We have here affirmative forms. So when we say affirmative forms, it is a positive forms. We have here a first example. My friends like to read storybooks and I too. For uninverted. Next, a horse runs fast and so does an ostrich. For inverted. So, I will discuss first inverted forms. So, when we say inverted, is a complete thought expressed in reversed order or the verb before the subject. Usually, ang format sang sentence nga may complete thought is subject before a verb. So, sa inverted, yan nag-reverse. Nauna ang verb antes ang subject. So, makita ta sa example. A horse runs fast and so does an ostrich. So, sa inverted form, makita ta nga na-eliminate ang verb phrase, then naulihi ang subject. Kita nyo, ang subject nga, ostrich. Kaya ang hambal de sa inverted, reverse. No? Verb before the subject. And then, nag-use sa sang conjunction nga so. So, makita ta ang so sa middle. Then, balik ta sa uninverted. So, sa uninverted naman niya, my friends like to read storybooks and I too. So, meaning, uninverted, nag-remain saya, ara saya sa format. Bali, subject before a verb lang gid sa. Pero, gin-eliminate naman ang first verb. Ang nabili na lang is the subject. Verb. Ang nabili na lang is the subject. And then, nagamit sa sang conjunction nga to sa punta. So, another tip nga para ma-identify nyo sang uninverted sa or inverted. So, sa uninverted, as you can see, nga ang conjunction ara sa punta. Diba? Then, ang sa inverted, ara ang conjunction sa middle. Ang so, ara sa middle. So, muna nga, change ko ang color para ma-identify nyo. Basta, take note nga ang inverted is always ga-reverse. Ha? Tandaan nyo ang verb before the subject amuna sa inverted. While sa uninverted naman niya, subject before a verb. Meaning, ara saya sa format. Gets? So, we have here another example. So, negative forms. So, why is it nga negative forms? Because, sa sentence, nag-use sa sang not. As you can see, Donna can't climb a tree and his little brother can't either. So, nakita nyo naman. Ang subject, ara naman sa una. Then, ang conjunction ara sa last. Na-eliminate naman ang verb phrase. Then, sa second one is inverted naman. Ducks can fly high and neither can chickens. So, makita ta naman nga ang conjunction ara naman sa middle. Then, ang chicken, ara naman sa, ang subject na chicken, ara naman sa last. Verb before the subject naman sa. So, amo lang ginatandaan nyo for me sa uninverted kag inverted forms. Nga kung ang inverted, verb before the subject id per me. Kag ang conjunction niya ara sa middle. Sa uninverted naman niya, ara ang format. Subject, ara gidyang usually, ang format ara gidya. Subject before a verb naman. Then, ang conjunction ara sa punta. Basta inverted ya, ga-reverse gidya. Suli, basta inverted. Gets lang. So, next is use of proof form the substitution of pronoun for a repeated noun. So proform, a word that depends on another part of the sentence or text for its meaning. So na-state di nga ang substitution of pronoun for a repeated noun. So we have here an example. Luis plays the guitar and he plays the harp too. So nagamit sang conjunctions nga and to. So si Luis nga noun gin-replace sa second sentence sang pronoun nga he. Kalain man na karon nga Luis plays the guitar and Luis plays the harp too, di ba? So ang Luis nga noun gin-replace sang he nga pronoun. Kay i-avoid ta ang repeated noun. So another example. I like Ruth but I don't love her. So si Ruth nga noun gin replace sang her nga pronoun. So that's all for proform. Amo lang ginasa ka simple sa proform. Avoid lang ang repeated nga noun. Kag i-substitute gid ang noun sang pronoun. Examples of pronouns. He, him, her, she. Next, complex or correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions always appear in pairs. They are used to link equivalent sentence elements. The most common relative conjunctions, both, and, either, or, neither, nor, not, only, but, also, so, as, whether, or. So, correlative conjunctions, these conjunctions connect two equal words, phrases, and clause. So, we have here an example. My father is both kind and sincere. So, ang both ya and always ga partner ginisaya sa correlative conjunction. So, both means one and the other. We use this pair to give equal importance to things or people. So, always ga partner giniyang both and kind kay this pair give equal importance to things or people, meaning my father is both kind and sincere. So we have here a second example. Bring either your father or your mother to the family day. So we use either or to indicate that there are two possibilities. It also implied that only one of the two will happen and not both. Meaning, may choices. Kaya na-state di nga, it is also implied that only one of the two will happen and not both. Meaning, may choices sa. Either iya tatay or iya nanay ang iya dalon sa family day. So, that's all for correlative conjunctions. Always gagamit gid sang duwa ka conjunction. So, that's all. So, I hope naintindihan nyo man. May na-learn man kamo sa akon. And if may questions kamo, feel free to ask me. So, thank you. So, the next reporter will continue our topic. So, thank you so much.
Hi everyone, so I will be the one to tackle about the forms of coordinating conjunction. So coordinating conjunctions join words or ideas together. So there are 7 coordinating conjunctions in English, which are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Those 7 coordinating conjunctions can be remembered by using the acronym FANBOYS. You can use them to create compound nouns, compound adjectives, compound sentences, and more. So, these are the examples of coordinating conjunctions. First, I will give my own example. So, if you stated that you like chicken and fish and is acting as coordinating conjunction, it joins two nouns in questions together like this: milk or chocolate, or is acting as the coordinating conjunction. small but yet terrible, but and yet also acting as a coordinating conjunction. He came late, so he missed the fun. It is close up. They accepted the verdict, for they failed to counter the charges against them. So coordinating functions may be independent clause. So when we say independent clause, it is a complete sentences that may have subject, verb, and adjective as well. It is also uneasy to understand the thoughts of a sentence, while dependent clause sometimes a sentence, or sometimes it uses a sentence or a verb which is not easily to understand the thoughts of a sentence, or it is not complete. So next, the other forms of correlative conjunctions. So correlative conjunctions, a conjunction which is used to illustrate how two words or phrases within a sentence relate to each other. So correlative conjunction always come in pairs. So these are the correlative conjunction: are, either, or, not only, but also, and neither nor. So these are the examples, or their pairs are used together. So I will give some examples. We could either hike up the mountain or swim in the lake this afternoon. So either or serves as the correlative conjunction in this sentence. Either Tony or Nico will top the test. So either and or also serves as the correlative conjunction in these sentences. Anna is neither friendly nor generous. Neither and nor are also serves as the correlative conjunction in the sentence. Also here, our teacher is not only competent but also very understanding. We could either hike up the mountain or swim in the lake this afternoon. That's my first example. It is either or serves as the correlative conjunction. So correlative conjunction can be both two clauses work independently and only function at the conjunction if is to illustrate how two words or phrases within a sentence relate to each other. So lastly, use of coordinating conjunctions. Below is a straightforward account of the simple conjunction. So the conjunction for, the meaning is because. Conjunctions or, meaning one or the other of two alternative is true. Conjunctions and, meaning plus. Conjunctions yet, meaning but at the same time. Conjunctions nor, meaning conjoins two negative sentences, both of which are true. Conjunctions so, meaning therefore. Conjunctions but, meaning shows contrast. That's all. Thank you.
A deeper and thorough study of each conjunction, however, reveals certain properties beyond the given straightforward accounts. To illustrate, here are the other meaning and uses of and. 1. As logical operator, the true conditional meaning. The interconjoined statement is true so long as each conjunct that makes it up is true. If one conjunct is false, then the statement is false. So here are the examples. Number 1, the star is sparkling and it has 5 sides. So this sentence has two true statements that connect and as a logical operator. And number 2 also has two true statements in the sentence with the use of and, which is underlined in the sentences. Number 2, the truck is big and it has 4 wheels, which is true statement. So number 3, the moon is near and it has 6 sides. So this one is false statement and the use also of and as logical operator. Number 4 also is false statements. The bike is faster than car and it has 4 wheels. Next, number 2, as marker of many meanings. conjunction and has different meanings depending on the sentence on statement. So here are the statement. And there, Annie is in the kitchen and she is making donuts. So the conjunction in the statement was used to indicate the place where the action happened. So si Annie kuno ara sa kitchen and then nag-ano si Annie naghimo donuts, which is gina-emphasize sa conjunction if where and what did the subject do in the sentence. Next, and during this time, Annie fell into a deep sleep and her facial color returned. So, this statement state that conjunction and emphasize what happened in the same or exact time that explain if what happened to Annie when she slept at same time. So, what this statement describe what happened to the subject at that time. And coming from it, the window was open and there was a draught. In this statement, the conjunction was used to interpret the result of situation. Same sa example nga may result na of what happened to the window. And after that, Peter married Annie and she had a baby. The conjunction was used to interpret what happened next after the situation. Login shortcut a statement by the use of conjunction and thereby. Paul pounded on the stone, and he shattered it. The conjunction used also to interpret the result of an action. So, ano natabo sa bato, he shattered it. Amo na sa ang result sa ginhimo sa subject in the statement. If you give me your picture, I'll give you mine. Give me your picture and I'll give you mine. So this statement was used of conjunction in with a condition. If the subject does a thing to another subject, then they reciprocate. So bali give back or they return the same action between two subjects in the statement. Number 3. As inferential connective, a reader or listener can draw an inferential connection from sentences like Susan jumped and hurt her ankle. The use of and invites the listener or reader to seek some other implicit relevant connection between stated conjuncts. So here are the examples. Number 1, Ronnie rode a bike and got his skin bruised. So the statement has a result of what happened to Ronnie that he got his skin bruised. Number 2, the monkey ate a lot of banana and it makes him full. So the use of conjunction and between the statement is to state the result of an action. So the last one is number 4. As marker of speaker continuation in conversational discourse, sometimes a speaker uses and signals that the utterance to follow is in some way connected with what has come before. This particular use of and goes beyond the usual content conjunctive use. Rather, it places and into the category of discourse markers like and while. For examples, number 1, I'm going to Thailand and I want to try exotic foods. Number 2, I've decided to buy a new shoes and some clothes too. Number 3, I want to learn how to drive a motor and take a long ride with my sister. So this statement, he or she wants to add up, is related to the context or the sentences. Continuation of being said first or before the statement. And also when conversing, a speaker may use and in order to manifest or show that the statement have a continuation.
Hi, today we will tackle about subordinating conjunctions. So first, let us know what is subordinating conjunction. A subordinating conjunction is a word or phrase that links a dependent clause to an independent clause. So when we say dependent clause, it is a group of words that contains a subject and verb but does not express a complete thought. A dependent clause cannot be a sentence. And on the other hand, when we say independent clause, It is a clause that can stand by itself as a simple sentence, and an independent clause contains a subject and a predicate and makes sense by itself. So I have here some examples. So my sister was so happy when I gave her my doll. So our independent clause is my sister was happy, and our subordinating conjunction is when. And our dependent clause is I gave her my doll. So in this case, the clause when I gave her my doll is dependent on the main clause or on our independent clause, which is my sister was so happy. So we always remember that subordinating conjunctions are found at the beginning of the dependent clause. So let's proceed to the different types of subordinating conjunction and their examples. So there are 8 types of subordinating conjunction, and these are the time, conditional, purpose, reason, result, concessive, place, and manner. So the conjunction when, before, after, since, while, until, as is referred to time. The conjunction in order to, so, that, it refers to the purpose, and the conjunction so, that is referred to result, where, wherever, in place, if, unless in conditional, because, since, as in reason, although, though, despite in concessive, as, like, is for the manner. So the words before, after, as, when, while, until, since are also conjunctions. They tell when something happens, so they are called conjunction of time. For example, she was in a bad car accident when she was a child. No one left the cinema while the movie was on. So there's a conjunction of when and while that indicates as a conjunction of time. So next is the conditional conjunction. So we use conditional conjunction to describe the condition that needs to be met for something to happen. Like for example, since I'll be out of town, I'm looking for someone to feed my cat. And unless you really need me to, I can't take the time to reorganize your desk today. So remember the conjunction since and unless, they are the conditional conjunction. Purpose. We use to express purpose in a sentence. We can identify that the sentence is a conjunction of purpose if the conjunction are in order to and so that. For example, I called you so that I could inform you in advance. I will do my best in order to teach you in English. Next is reason. We use conjunction of reason when we want to explain why something happened. We can use a reason clause introduced by the conjunctions because, as, or since. For example, he didn't join us last night because he was feeling sick. I've been very busy since I started my new job. Next is the result. So when you want to indicate the result of an action or situation, you can use a result clause. Result clauses are introduced by conjunctions such as so and so that. So for example, Jake dimmed the lights so that people can read the screen better. I will study hard so that my parents will be proud of me. Concessive. We use concessive clause to refer a situation that occurs or a fact that is true despite what is said in the main clause. For example, although this is a modern city, it has many historical monuments. In addition, he still managed to make everyone happy. clause which begins with although or even though expresses an idea that suggests the opposite of the main part of the sentence. Place. Conjunction of place are all subordinating conjunction, so they are whether used at the beginning of the sentence while the clauses are being divided by a comma, or they are used between the clauses with no commas. For example, she lives where you used to live. Let her go wherever she likes to go. The conjunction where and wherever indicates the conjunction of place. Manner. Conjunction of manner show how a person performs any action or activity. For example, she always works as her boss advises her. It did not happen as we planned. So the conjunction as refers to the manner. So let's proceed to relative clauses. Another form of subordination involves the embedding of one clause to another. So the part of a sentence which starts with who, which, or that is called relative clause. So for example, the lady who came into the room was small and slender. So our relative clause here is who came into the room. And because it's also started at the relative clauses who. Another example, they live in a house whose roof is full of holes. So our relative clauses here is whose roof is full of holes. So remember, relative clause describes or provides information about noun. And always put in mind that the most common relative pronoun which mark relative clauses are that, which, who, whom, and whose. So that's all. Thank you so much for lending your ears, and I hope you learned a lot. So that's the end of our report. Thank you.